In this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 benefits of meditation. Hi, it's Sam. Welcome to Knowledge Node. In this episode, I'm talking about meditation. So, I'm going to talk briefly about why meditation can be an important practice for us, and then I'm going to go straight into 5 of the many benefits of meditation. So, let me begin this episode with one of my favourite quotes. All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. So this quote was written by Pascal in the 1600s, and that was that long ago, and it's only got more relevant as time's gone on, because if you look at our society and the way that technology have evolved, and they've evolved together, what they've created is the perfect environment for us to never have to spend any time with our own mind. We're constantly working, constantly distracted, constantly consuming, never alone with our own thoughts if we don't want to be. This is why now more than ever we need to make a conscious effort to try and reconnect with our own mind, because it's so easy to not do that at all. So you don't just have to sit in a room and stare at a wall, but luckily for you we have practices such as meditation that can give us a bit more of an aim, a bit more of a focus towards spending some time in solitude with ourselves. So let me tell you a little bit about meditation before we start. So meditation began as a spiritual practice in India thousands of years ago, as a tool to try and develop more self-awareness, a greater sense of inner peace, and ultimately a state of enlightenment. But over here in the West, they eventually realised that even if you have no spiritual motives, you don't know what the Buddha is, you don't know what enlightenment is, then you can still get plenty of benefits from meditation. In future videos, I will talk about meditation more as a spiritual practice and more about spirituality in general, as I do believe that spirituality and personal development go hand in hand and that they can really enhance each other. But for today's video, I'll keep it simple and just go over some overall benefits to your well-being and your personal development that meditation can bring you. So let's get straight into that. Number 1, meditation can help you reduce stress. So meditation is a great tool for relaxation. You can relax the mind and the body with meditation, and it seems that it doesn't take a very long time of meditating to get the results of stress reduction. One study from a Chinese university showed that the participants, just in the space of 5 days of doing 20-minute meditations once a day, showed a measurable reduction in anxiety and also a reduction in the stress hormone cortisol. Number 2, it can improve your sleep. So this works on a few different levels as well, and there is still plenty of research being done, but some of the main reasons they think it seems to aid your sleep is because it relaxes the mind and the body. So a lot of the reason why people can't sleep is stress, worrying, and inability to shut off their mind. And also if you're stressed, this can create tension in the body. If you have tension in the body, it's sending signals to your brain that you're not relaxed, and therefore it's harder for you to get to sleep. Number 3, it can improve our emotional health. So this is just as true for stronger emotions, such as those that you find with symptoms of anxiety and depression. And this is actually how I found meditation. I started using it as a method to try and deal with my symptoms of depression, and I actually found that it was really beneficial, even though it was hard to get started with, because you have to sit there in your own mind, and when you're in that state of mind, your mind's your own enemy. You think it's going to be the worst thing ever, but as you develop it as a practice, it's actually a really good tool of managing these symptoms, for me at least anyway. Studies have actually shown that in some cases, a mindfulness meditation practice can actually be just as effective as antidepressants in clinical trials. But this is all subjective to the person, and by no means is meditation a cure-all for all mental health issues. And if you are experiencing mental health issues, then definitely seek support from friends and family and seek professional help where necessary. Number 4, it can improve your concentration and your focus. Luckily for you, it seems like the research suggests that this one doesn't take a very long time to start seeing the benefits from either. So one group of researchers showed that after just 2 weeks of mindfulness meditation, the group that were tested, they did a comprehension and a memory test, and not only did the participants display less distraction during these tests, but they also did 16% higher than 2 weeks before they had their mindfulness meditation training. Number 5, the one that I see is the most important for personal development, is that it can increase your self-awareness. So increasing our self-awareness is really powerful. Like I mentioned before, this can help us regulate our emotions, but it also can help us regulate our thoughts and our beliefs. Now, a lot of us, we don't reach for as high as we can, and we don't believe in ourselves as much as we should, because we have a lot of underlying beliefs that are ruling our life that we're not noticing. And as you meditate longer, as you begin to build it as a regular practice and get experience with meditation, you can start to uncover some of these thoughts and beliefs that have kind of been making you stand in your own way. So as well as this, increasing awareness through meditation can be really powerful in helping us notice our patterns. So not just our thought patterns, but also our habits and our routines, our unplanned routines, I should say. So patterns that we've got stuck in that we didn't really realize we consciously chose and that aren't probably the best for us. As our self-awareness increases, we start to notice these little negative behaviors or maybe big negative patterns that we've got ourselves caught up in. So this is really powerful as it can help us regulate things like addictions and impulses. So we become more aware of our addictive behaviors and our impulses in whichever way they may manifest. It might be a hard addiction or a soft addiction, and it helps us deal with them in the moment. As the longer you meditate, the more you build it up as a habit, then it can create a gap between the stimulus and the response. So what I mean by that is, say that you are trying to lose weight, you walk into a room, there's a chocolate bar on the table, and that's a sign for you to usually walk over and eat some chocolate. Well, there's always a slight gap between stimulus and response in most cases, but if you meditate regularly, you can widen this gap. And this is so powerful because that little widening of the gap gives you the opportunity to choose. It brings more consciousness into your life, more conscious decisions instead of reacting all the time, reacting. It gives us some of the power back to make a choice. Those are the tips for today, so let's quickly sum them up. So if you meditate regularly, some things you can expect to experience might be a reduction in stress, improved sleep, improved ability to control your emotions, improved concentration and focus, and last but definitely not least, an increased self-awareness. That's it for this week's video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and more importantly, I hope you're inspired to start a meditation habit now. Don't worry if you're thinking meditation's hard or you don't know how to start, because next week what I'm going to have is a video that is going to show you 2 different ways you can approach starting meditation that can help you build it into a regular habit. Now, like many people, I started meditation and stopped it a few times, started and stopped, and the method I'm going to be sharing next week is what I use to actually make it a habit that sticks. So look out for that. I hope you're looking forward to that, and if you like this video, please give it a like, give it a share and subscribe. And other than that, I'll see you next week.